And I'm Jake Hamilton. All morning long on Good Day Chicago, we are taking you to high schools around the area where they were gathering toys to bring them right here. We are live at Salvation Army Midway. We're going to tell you everything you need to know about how you can still help out.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Sylvia Perez. The Chicago Office of Police Accountability is investigating today after an officer shot a man on the north side. Roseanne has the latest.
This started with that stolen car investigation. Police say they saw a dark sedan pull over on Washtenaw here near that stolen car. They saw a couple of men get out and appear to try to get in the other car, but they noticed the police watching, and that's when they took off. Now, police say it happened just before 10:30 Tuesday night. While one of those suspects fled through the neighborhood on foot, the other one jumped back in the sedan and refused to get out. After a struggle to try to get the men out, police say he attempted to drive off, dragging an officer in the process. The officer fired once, striking the man in the head. A neighbor told us police checked her Ring camera and saw that stolen car. The footage also captured some of the aftermath, officers arriving in force. One neighbor, Julio Medina, says it was difficult to watch unfold.
No, I'm glad the cop wasn't hurt. I'm glad the cop got the guy.
Honestly, I'm really scared. I do have kids. I am a single mom, so being in a neighborhood where things like that are going on does really, spark a concern.
There was another young lady that was also involved in the scene that I know they had her on the side of the car who was really hysterical, crying, saying, "Why did you guys do this? Why?"
Police say that woman was taken into custody and they recovered 2 firearms in that car. We still don't know what happened to the second man who took off on foot or what connection the people in that sedan had to the stolen vehicle. The officer, by the way, is in good condition after being treated and released at the hospital. In the Arcadia Terrace neighborhood, Roseanne Tejas, Fox 32, Chicago.
Thanks, Roseanne. Let's take a live look outside. I'm not sure what's happening, but I can tell you when I was heading to work this morning, Caitlin, that snow was coming down hard. What's the situation right now?
Not sure what's happening. That makes sense because this morning people walked outside. Thought maybe it was going to be a balmy day. Anthony, for example, is what I'm talking about. But that's not the case anymore because the cold front is moving on through, bringing us cold temperatures along with precipitation and very gusty winds. So currently, the snow is still coming down, especially south of Chicago. Let's take a closer look at this radar. We're starting to see some drying, though, happening, especially north and northwest of the city. Snow still coming down, though, for the city. I'm talking about flurries. But as we get a little further south, that's where we have some light to moderate snowfall from Lake to Porter County, down in Kankakee County, Jasper and Newton counties. You have some scattered snow showers happening currently. And into the afternoon, unfortunately, northwest Indiana, you can expect some lake effect snowfall that could lead to a couple inches of accumulation. Right now, though, because these temperatures are so mild, right now we're sitting around freezing for most spots, like at the lakefront, 32, as well as Midway, 34 in Gary, 34 in Valpo. The snow that's falling, it's turning into kind of a slush out there. Current temperature, though, as we get out to our western areas like DeKalb and Aurora in the upper 20s, it's 30 currently at Woodstock. The wind gusts, right now we're seeing winds coming in at 33 miles per hour at Midway, 38 in Aurora. These 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts are possible throughout the day, and that wind is coming in out of the north, dragging in the cold air. So the feel-like temperature right now is in the teens. From DeKalb to Woodstock, 21 at O'Hare. Temperatures feel like we could be in the low to mid-20s, even in northwest Indiana. I'll time out that potential for lake effect in northwest Indiana. Also show you the next couple of rounds of snow that we have in the forecast as we head towards the weekend ahead.
All right, thanks, Caitlin. Time is ticking for Mayor Johnson and the City Council to agree on a new budget deal. Right now, City Council is taking up a budget proposal that includes Mayor Johnson's revised plan on corporate head tax. The city has until December 30th to finalize that budget. That closes a $1.15 billion gap. Political reporter Per Schutz will have more on this developing story coming up. In the meantime, a group of business leaders rallied outside CTA headquarters this morning, protesting the city's plan to redesign the Grand Avenue bus route. They say removing travel lanes for new bike would slow down bus service for 7,000 riders. Advocates want dedicated bus lanes instead, saying it would keep service moving as CTA prepares for a major state funding boost. Former Illinois House Speaker Mike Madigan is asking President Trump for clemency. Madigan was convicted in February on bribery, conspiracy, and wire fraud charges. Madigan asked for a pardon after he completes his sentence. The 83-year-old was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison and fined $2.5 million. Madigan is also appealing his conviction. Starbucks union baristas are protesting internationally today, and local workers hit the picket line on the Mag Mile this morning. They rallied outside the Reserve Roastery as part of a day of solidarity. Gabriela Primus was there with more.
This is the latest in what union members are calling the Red Cup Rebellion. We've been covering similar rallies to this for the last few weeks. Here in Michigan Avenue, there's somewhat a large group amid the weather calling out no contract, no coffee. The union is doing this move in 10 countries during International Day of Solidarity. In fact, they say that this has grown to 3,000 union baristas across 145 stores in 105 cities, although Starbucks says that is a cumulative number. But the union says that this has become the longest nationwide unfair labor practice strike in Starbucks history. They are demanding the company resolve hundreds of ULPs and union busting and return to the bargaining table with new proposals to improve pay, staffing, and scheduling. Now the rally and picket outside of Starbucks' largest store is going on today. They hope that it really makes a difference.
We're really looking to send a message to Starbucks. Come back to the table with some real proposals. All we can do is keep escalating. We will do whatever it takes. This is our livelihoods. We've got bills to pay, and we need a contract in order to do that. We are not making enough. The average barista makes $15.25 an hour.
Starbucks responded in a statement saying, in part, Starbucks offers one of the best jobs in retail. Pay and benefits average $30 an hour for U.S. hourly partners. Turnover is less than half the industry average, and more than 1 million people apply to work here every year. We'll keep you updated on this story on air and online. I'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Gabby. Well, as you know, this is the season of giving, and a group of local students are modeling how to hang on to that spirit year-round. This morning, a student at Lakes Community High School held a toy drive for the entire community. Jake was joining them, and he is now live outside the Salvation Army where those toys were just dropped off. What an uplifting morning, Jake Hamilton.
It really was, Sylvia. All morning long, we were all over the area. Lakes Community High School, Carmel Catholic High School. But now here we are. This is Salvation Army Midway. And take a look. These are all of the toys that were donated by those amazing students in their toy drives earlier this morning. I'm back here with Lieutenant Vincent, who is with the Salvation Army. Lieutenant, first of all, you've been with me all morning, so you've clocked in some miles. Taking a look at this room right now, what is this room exactly?
This is our angel tree room, and when you look around, we see baby dolls, we see action figures, but for parents who are struggling to bring Christmas to their kids, it's relief, and to so many children, this is joy.
It really is. I want to kind of flash back to us earlier this morning. You know, you and I were at 2 different high schools. Such a great turnout of those students bringing in those toys for those in need this holiday season. What was that like for you to see that kind of turnout?
It was such a blessing to really see so many people giving with joy, because as we all know, there's a great need, and we cannot do this without the generosity of a community.
I want to talk about that great need because we're sort of panning around the room right now, and we're taking a look, and someone might look at this and say, well, look at all those toys. They've got plenty. They're good. I'm going to go ahead and say, one, just not the case. How many kids are you guys providing for just in this location alone?
We have hundreds of family registered at just this location, and that's going to be about 500 kids. And again, that's just this location.
And how many locations around are you guys collecting toys? And I think it's probably safe to say that maybe not all of them look as filled as this one does.
Absolutely. Here's what we know. There are still so many children this Christmas season who need toys to come their way.
And how can people help out? We got a couple of weeks left till Christmas. If they're looking around going, all right, I got to get involved, how can they do that?
Absolutely. You can go to your nearest mall, your store, you can order online, and you can bring those gifts directly to the Salvation Army. And if you can't give a toy, your time is just as valuable. We all need volunteers right now, and you can also ring the bells for us this Christmas season. You can register for that at registertoring.com.
Speaking of volunteers, can we give a shout out to the gentlemen who are assembling all those bikes over there? Who do we have over there?
This is Buckeye Pipeline, who we're so blessed to have helping us today.
Guys, thank you. We appreciate you. We are live out here. It is Salvation Army Midway. Lieutenant Vincent, we appreciate you. Guys, take a look around at all these toys. You know what? We need a lot more. Salvation Army needs a lot more, and there are a lot of families in need who need a lot more. You heard how to help out, and shout out to all those amazing students, Sylvia, who throughout the morning showed up with toys in hand.
This is so impressive, Jake, and I know it was fun for you to be able to be a part of this. I'm just curious, you have to ask them for us, is there any particular age group that they really feel like that is missing out, that maybe needs more attention? Because a lot of times we think of the little kids.
Well, they've kind of gotten broken down here, sort of like, you know, on each side of the wall, they kind of have it broken down. Lieutenant Vincent, is there one age group in particular that needs a little bit more help?
Absolutely. Every year we know that teenagers seem to be the forgotten ones. So.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's good to know, Sylvia. All right, so we got a lot of the younger toys here, but let's not forget there are a lot of teenagers who also deserve you know, an extra gift or two this holiday season.
Absolutely. Okay, thanks a lot, Jake. We really appreciate that.
Thanks,
and I
Sylvia.
love that they've collected so much. We'll talk to you later. Much more to come on Fox 32 News at noon.
The perfect
Welcome back. It's 12:13. Years of hard work wiped out after Hurricane Helene hit North Carolina last year. And now Christmas tree farmers are still working to bounce back ahead of the holidays. Chelsea Torres is live in Boone, North Carolina. And Chelsea, I understand you spoke with some of the farmers that have been impacted by this hurricane.
I did, Sylvia. Good afternoon. You know, North Carolina actually ranks second in the nation for Christmas tree production, and a lot of farmers were right in Helene's path. One farmer even says that he lost tens of thousands of trees, and he's just hoping that here in the future and the years ahead that he can recoup that loss. Deep in the North Carolina mountains are dozens of Christmas tree farms growing the famous Fraser fir.
And the elevation's the reason why the Fraser fir does well here.
For decades, Waitstill Avery has grown Christmas trees on his family farm. Some take 8 years or more before they're ready to be cut.
And it seems to be something either you love it or you hate it.
Avery still loves tree farming, even after Helene wiped out years of hard work last September.
As a tree grower, we probably took the biggest lick. We lost right around 64,000 trees.
Avery says this part of the farm was under 8 feet of water. He also lost dozens of farming equipment and had to rebuild their office and home, costing more than $4 million in damages. Another grower, Joey Clausen, didn't have damage, but says the community raced to help one another last year.
They were panicking, trying to get to their fields, having to make makeshift bridges, bulldozers to just dig out and drive through the water if it's not too high.
Clausen says community support helped farmers push through last season. And this year, business is holding steady.
We've seen a resurgence of younger generation wanting a real tree.
But hopes next year is even better.
Very optimistic that the next several years are going to be really good years and increased sales.
Now, Avery says that he still does not know the full impact Helene will have on his farm, at least for a while, but does expect a fluctuation of tree supplies here in the next 6 to 7 seasons. Sylvia?
All right, thanks for that, Chelsea. Let's take another live look outside, as it's been an interesting morning already. So what can we expect for the rest of the day? A little more snow and then some cold, Caitlin?
That's right. Temperatures are dropping and the snow is still coming down south of Chicago. So northwest Indiana, that's where we could be holding on to some lake effect snow showers even into this afternoon. Right now, though, even in the city, we have a few flurries out there. Looking west and north, you are already drying out from this morning's rain to freezing rain to snow. So we have a drying trend happening for most of us. Temperatures, though, they're cold. Right now, it's only 17 for the feel-like temperature. The wind chill at Woodstock, 16 in DeKalb, 14 in Aurora, 23 at the lakefront. Northwest Indiana, it feels like low to mid-20s currently. So it's chilly. This cold air is going to continue to stream in, and you can see over the next 12 hours, we're staying with that feel-like temperature in the teens. In fact, the mid-teens expected as we head towards this evening. So the cold air is moving on in. And what about the precipitation chances? Well, we have more snow on the way, unfortunately, over the next couple of days. Let's get into it. First of all, futurecast for today. Let's take you through the rest of your afternoon. 3:45, temperatures starting to drop into the 20s for many of us. We still have that lake effect snow possible, especially in northwest Indiana, mostly east of I-65. 7:15, that snow is still coming down as we round the lake, but in Chicago, it's quiet with temperatures in the upper 20s. A few flurries around possible tonight into early tomorrow, and then tomorrow, most of the day, it's going to be quiet. Temperatures are going to be chilly. Don't get me wrong. Around lunchtime, we're sitting around 20 with highs in the 20s, but we have the chance for snow returning by the evening. So snow is going to move into Chicagoland Thursday night into Friday morning, meaning your Friday morning commute is expected to be impacted by snowfall. It's also going to be a cold Friday. The temperatures move into the top of the headlines for this weekend as we drop down to the single digits Friday night and perhaps even around 0 for Sunday morning. Your 3-day outlook, 26 Thursday, Friday 30. We have the chance for snow back again on Saturday and Saturday night. A full check of your 7-day forecast is coming up. Sylvia.
All right. Thanks, Caitlin. Well, classes are canceled for the rest of the semester at Kentucky State University after a shooting left one student dead and another critically injured. The shooting happened inside a residence hall yesterday. The suspect was arrested and taken into custody. He is not a student, and it's still not clear what he was doing on campus. Police have not revealed a motive for the shooting, but they do believe it is an isolated incident.
Our thoughts are with them, their families, and the entire Kentucky State University community, as well as the Frankfort community, as they navigate this difficult moment.
Police say the suspect, 48-year-old Jacob Lee Bard, is facing murder and first-degree assault charges. The FBI is releasing a new photo of Ryan Wedding, a former Olympic snowboarder and now top 10 fugitive. He is accused of running a massive drug operation and orchestrating murders. Officials believe he took this photo in Mexico over the summer, where he could be hiding under cartel protection. A reward of up to $15 million is being offered for any information leading to his arrest. The city of Miami has elected its first Democratic mayor in almost 30 years. Eileen Higgins defeated her Republican opponent last night, who was endorsed by President Trump. She will also be the first ever woman to lead Miami. Higgins' campaign included affordable housing and advocacy for the immigrant population in the city, which has the nickname Gateway to Latin America. Some big changes coming for millions of student loan borrowers. President Biden's student loan repayment plan, known as SAVE, is officially coming to an end. A legal settlement announced by the Education Department will block new enrollments, deny pending applications, and move current borrowers to other plans. SAVE, which based payments on income, was praised as the most affordable option. The program aimed to ease $200 billion in student debt. Right now, we are waiting to learn if the Federal Reserve will be cutting interest rates once again. The markets expect a small cut, but President Trump has been calling for aggressive action. The president has criticized Fed Chair Jerome Powell for not cutting rates more aggressively. However, the Fed watches economic conditions and works on balancing interest rates with keeping inflation in check.
It is likely that they will cut rates, and that would be at 0.25%, so 0.25%. To do anything more would be very unusual and a big surprise. So I expect that if we have any cut at all, it will be that quarter point. But there's likely to be some dissent amongst committee members about exactly what's right. Overall, I think they're all going to come to the consensus, or at least most of them will come to a consensus that the 0.25% cut is the right thing to do.
The Fed is expected to announce its decision on interest rates in the next hour, and we will keep you updated. Well, the economy keeps shedding manufacturing jobs, and factory orders are now at their lowest levels in months. But President Trump is pushing ahead with his tariff war. Lucas Tomlinson has more from Washington.
Remember when I said tariff? My favorite word is tariff.
President Trump doubled down on his tariff policy in a key economic speech on Tuesday, saying it's prompted a resurgence of American manufacturing.
All of the companies that are pouring their money to building right now, which we would have never had if we didn't put the tariffs on.
But the numbers are telling a different story. A new report shows manufacturers are pulling back on orders of parts and raw materials because of rising uncertainty about the future of the tariff war. Those orders are now at their lowest level since May. Democrats say it's fueling the affordability crisis.
For businesses, the Trump tariffs have created a system that is unpredictable, inconsistent, and ultimately harmful to American interests.
And President Trump is threatening even more tariffs, including on rice from India, which represents more than 25% of all American rice imports. The White House says while there could be some short-term price increases, in the long run, the tariffs will more than pay for themselves.
As we bring back Made in America manufacturing, the supply chain issues will be resolved.
But on Capitol Hill, some Republicans are starting to worry that tariffs could cost them votes in next year's midterm elections.
The economy has not turned around in the ways that people were hoping it would under Trump. I think that's really going to be the largest determinant right now. We're still feeling the effects of the tariffs. We haven't really gotten the relief at the working class and middle class levels that people are hoping for.
The president also threatening to raise tariffs on Mexico if it doesn't provide more water to American farmers. In Washington, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox 32, Chicago.
Coming up after the break, life-changing and life-saving, a massive multi-million-dollar donation to help some of the sickest children in Chicago. And are you still down after that Bears loss? Well, you are not alone. A surprising new report on just how dramatically sports can affect your mood. A big announcement this morning at Lurie Children's Hospital, one that could transform care for children with genetic and rare diseases. Lurie Children's revealed an $11 million gift from Don and Ann Edwards. This donation establishes the new Edwards Family Division of Genetics and Rare Diseases. Hospital leaders say the funding will expand genetics training, bring diagnostic testing in-house to cut wait times, and triple the number of gene therapy and research trials by 2030. Well, thousands of children and teenagers are now locked out of their social media accounts in Australia. The country's ban on social media for anyone under the age of 16 is the first of its kind. The Prime Minister says the goal is to give children a childhood and parents more peace of mind.
It is about our families taking back control. Technology can have an amazing impact on making our life easier. But it is important as technology develops that humans keep control.
Tech companies that don't follow the new rules could face fines of up to $33 million. Several U.S. states already require parental consent for teens on social media, while Florida's law banning teens under the age of 13 was just approved in federal court last week. From football to basketball and hockey, the holiday season is packed with a schedule full of sports. And although it's the season of giving, many sports fans may only want to receive a jersey if their team is winning. Sports management experts studied how a team's performance can impact a fan's mood and their purchasing decisions. They found a win can even influence clothing choices and get you to spend more over the holidays.
It's actually a psychological mechanism within your brain that's going to cause you to clothe yourself in the success of the team and then signal to other fans, hey, I'm one of you, I'm part of the in-group.
Fans of losing teams are more likely to want to distance themselves from the team, but the research found some fans will continue to support through a rough season as a badge of honor. And just in time for your New Year's diet resolution, sugar-free Oreos. How does that sound? Beginning in January, the original Oreo and the double stuff will now come in zero sugar options. Now, this is the first time the company will be selling the sugar-free option in the U.S. They've already been selling these in Europe and China. The original Oreo cookie contains 13 grams of added sugar. We'll be right back.
Patrick.
Welcome back. Here's a look at some of the top stories we're following for you this afternoon. The Chicago Office of Police Accountability is investigating after an officer shoots a man on the north side. Police say officers were investigating near North Washtenaw in Hollywood last night when two men tried to enter a stolen car. One suspect got away. The other attempted to drive off, dragging an officer. The officer fired his weapon, hitting the man in the head. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. The officer was treated for minor injuries. Chicago aldermen are cool on Mayor Johnson's latest budget proposal that would make changes to the proposed corporate head tax. They are now meeting at City Council, and joining us with the latest is political reporter Paris Schutz. Oh, it's pretty hefty over there. What's going on, huh?
Sylvia, here's a sign of how intense this is getting. They just decided that they're going to have a City Council meeting every day next week to take multiple stabs at voting on this budget. The problem is they don't have an agreement yet. There are not 26 alders, as we count right now, to agree on either the mayor's budget proposal or any other budget proposal. This latest offering from the mayor would only ding Chicago's largest businesses with a $33 per head employee head tax. So that means businesses with 500 employees or more. That's a change from his initial proposal that would have applied to businesses with 100 or more. So last night, City Budget Director Annette Guzman defended this proposal, saying it's only going to hit less than 200 businesses in Chicago, down from over 1,000. And she's challenging alders to come up with data that suggests a head tax is a jobs killer.
The city had a corporate head tax for over 25, 30 years. We did not see, jobs being driven out of the city. What we saw when the corporate head tax was repealed is that there was no explosion in job growth in the city of Chicago, where you would think that if this was not there, you'd see a very large increase. What I'd like to see, and what we've invited alders to provide to us, is help us understand why you have a different point of view about why this would be a job killer. Because in our conversations with businesses, and I've had several, what they tell us is that their most important thing that they're trying to work with the city on is driving violence down.
But some of the opposition alder people are saying the times are different now than before COVID. It's really important that big companies keep their headquarters here or keep their employees here. After all, to avoid a head tax, maybe they say that their employees can work from home in the suburbs instead of coming downtown to the Loop. And we know that downtown survival is based on people coming down here and working during the day and going and getting lunch or going and getting dinner afterward. Now, a group of 26 alders say they still can't support a budget that contains a head tax and doesn't cut more spending.
We face a job forecast in 2026 that will be the lowest since COVID. While downtown businesses continue to struggle to bounce back from the pandemic, which is diverting property taxes up in our neighborhoods.
And as we mentioned, council just adjourned for the day today, agreeing to meet every day next week. Again, that's a few days here that they have to come to some kind of agreement, Sylvia, to vote on. And then if they don't have an agreement by the end of the year, then we have this unprecedented government shutdown. By the way, you can catch all these interviews on the Chicago Report on our website or on YouTube, including with the budget director last night and Alderman Brian Hopkins, who just introduced his new curfew ordinance today at City Council.
Ooh, you're going to have an interesting show. A lot going on, and talking about having a meeting every day. I'm sure they're trying to get this wrapped up before the end of the year.
They have to.
Christmas, so
it's going to be a big lump of coal in all their stockings if they don't have a budget before Christmas. And all of Chicago's stockings. Absolutely. That means a shutdown, which would mean some sort of curtailment in city services, maybe snow plowing, people not getting paid.
Which is not going to look good for the mayor.
It's not going to look good. And since this has never happened before, the legal department is busy trying to figure out what a shutdown means.
Ramifications, yeah. So this has never happened before.
It's not happened, but it's uncharted territory.
Wow.
So it's more impetus to get an agreement.
Wow. Okay. We'll be interested in seeing what comes out of this. Thanks, Paris. Okay, let's go back outside as we take a live look. We got a lot of snow this morning. It was quite beautiful. And even though you told us this was going to happen, why does this happen, Caitlin? Every time you guys say it's going to happen, we're like, oh my gosh, it's snowing.
I know it. Well, I think because we've been really focusing on the cold, maybe the temperatures, it's really what you're putting your attention to. But we do still have some snow coming down, especially south of Chicago, and some lingering in northwest Indiana, even into the the afternoon because of lake effect snow. Now, we're not going to see a ton of snow. In fact, just a couple of inches possible in northwest Indiana within those bands of lake effect. But still, slick roads are possible. It could be slushy out there. Temperatures have been dropping all day, and they will continue throughout the afternoon as cold air is gusting in at 30 to 40 miles per hour. And speaking of cold this weekend, frigid temperatures, lows around 0 possible Sunday morning. Right now, radar shows generally quiet conditions. We still have the clouds in place, but drier skies have already returned from Chicago, points west and north. As we round the lake, though, as I just mentioned, we have some lingering snow in northwest Indiana, especially in Porter County and LaPorte, and that's going to be the case through the afternoon. Watch out for that snow if you are going to be traveling in northwest Indiana, especially near the lake. Temperatures outside right now are in the upper 20s to mid 30s, so we have a range still going on. It's freezing at the lakefront, but 31 at O'Hare and 29 in Aurora, 31 in Kankakee, and temperatures in northwest Indiana in the low to mid 30s. Winds. I mentioned how it is going to be gusty. We are clocking in at 37 miles per hour in Gary, 38 in Aurora, 28 at O'Hare. So it is gusty right now, and these winds are going to continue to stay elevated up to that 40 mile per hour potential throughout the afternoon. The feel like temperature in the teens for many of us. Right now it feels like 14 in Aurora, 21 at O'Hare, and 20 at the lakefront. So make sure you dress warm. And let's take a look at our futurecast because we're not done with the rounds of wintry kind of weather. As we head on through the rest of the afternoon, there's that lake effect snow that I was talking about in northwest Indiana. Tonight will be generally quiet, and tomorrow for most of the day, quiet conditions. 4:45 starting to see some snow move in. We are going to have the potential for accumulating snowfall Thursday night into Friday morning, which could impact your drive, your commute to start off your Friday, unfortunately. And then that's when the temperatures start to really drop this weekend. And we have more snow possible on Saturday and Saturday night. So here's your futurecast snowfall. As mentioned, for the rest of the day today, we have that potential for 1 to 2 inches in northwest Indiana. This is taking us through Thursday night and Friday. Notice it's not going to be a ton of snow, but a few inches are possible Friday morning. 7-day forecast, temperatures around 30 degrees for Friday. And then this weekend, a high of hardly over 10. Both on Saturday and Sunday. Next week, we start off with the mid-20s, and then we're back to the upper 30s by Tuesday. Sylvia.
All right. Thanks, Caitlin. Well, he may no longer be the Secretary of State after retiring as the most popular politician in Illinois. But at the age of 91, Jesse White is still working to give back and continuing to encourage others to do the same. The Jesse White Foundation hosted its annual Season of Giving. It featured local and state politicians and a special demonstration by the famous Jesse White tumblers. White started that organization 66 years ago.
We give our young people scholarship money while they're in school because we want to make sure they have the necessary funds that are necessary for them to fit properly into an educational environment. I believe, like Abraham Lincoln Maravitz said to me a long time ago, Jesse White, remember, do something good for someone every day. I practice that, and I just hope that that become a part of your philosophy of life as well.
The event included local and state politicians, but of course the highlight was the tumblers. This is all to raise funds in support of the tumbling team, as well as programs benefiting at-risk youth, including some coat and food drives. We're going to take a look at today's business headlines when we come back.
The mailman.
Taking a live look at the New York Stock Exchange. Right now, the Dow trading up at 156 points. And now it's time to look at your business headlines with CJ Papa.
Another delayed report has been released. The employment cost index for the summer quarter rose less than expected 0.8%, and 3.5% for the year ending in the summer. Assigned employees have been seeing raises, but wage increases moderated in recent months. PepsiCo has agreed to slash 20% of its soda and snack lineup in the United States, but officials have not revealed which brands would be cut. The company also plans to lower some prices and lay off an unspecified number of workers. And new numbers from AAA show a record-setting 122 million people are expected to travel this year between December 20th and New Year's Day. That's up more than 2.5 million from last year. While the majority of Americans are expected to drive for their year-end trips, roughly 8 million more are expected to fly for Christmas and New Year's this year. And where should you ring in the new year? New analysis revealing Orlando is the best place in the nation to celebrate New Year's Eve. This is due to low hotel prices, shopping, a broad variety of entertainment, and legal fireworks. Las Vegas is in second, followed by New York City, Seattle, and Los Angeles. That's business. CJ Papa, Fox 32, Chicago.
Well, our noon show may be wrapping up, but Chicago Live is going to be getting started soon. Anita Blanton is standing by with a look at what's ahead. Hey, Anita.
Hey, Sylvia. Yeah, there's a lot to get to today. Let's see.
Oh, my mic is sounding a little odd here. Between 1 and 4 p.m. we will be here. All right, things sound all right with my mic now. Plenty of topics that we're going to be going over that people are talking about here. For instance, most customers expect to pay the exact same price, of course, for the exact same item if you're going to the same store. But a new study suggests that in a growing online grocery sector, that's not always the case, may not be happening for a lot of folks. So I'm going to be talking with the Managing Director of Policy and Advocacy at Groundwork Collaborative that conducted this study that found that online price experiments are costing families at checkout. We're also going to check in with our friends at Loaves and Fishes Community Services to talk about a big award that they just won to do more good in the neighborhood. The Illinois Endangered Species Protection Board has just released their list of endangered and threatened species in our state, and they're going to be talking about which animals are on the list and why. And we have many other talkers as well. Again, it all begins at 1 right here online for Chicago Live. But we got to fix this mic, Sylvia, so I'm going to send it back to you.
Okay, thanks, Anita. I'm sure it'll be all taken care of before that happens. Coming up, a new way to shop small and sustainably this holiday season. We're going to show you how secondhand shopping can cut waste and keep more money in the community. Today, we're talking about shopping small and sustainably this holiday season. The new Lincoln Antique Mall just opened in Irving Park, home to 37 local vendors and one-of-a-kind vintage gifts. And joining us now is owner Karen Castillo to show us how secondhand shopping can be stylish and also eco-friendly. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for
having me.
I'm
so impressed with what you brought. These items are absolutely beautiful. And I love that we're talking about sustainability, because I think we are such a society where we have like mass consumption, but you're taking us back to vintage things that are just as beautiful today as they were back then. You just opened.
We just opened at the beginning of May, and we're super excited. We have, like you said, 37 different vendors in the store that really curate beautiful gifts, home decor, and furniture for all different price points.
Have you always had a love for vintage things? What made you decide to do this?
A love for vintage.
Yeah.
All my life, going to garage sales, thrifting with my mom when we were younger. Absolutely.
I love it. Okay, so you brought a little bit of everything. We're talking about holiday shopping. So come on over here. We're going to start with a little Hanukkah. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so we brought a great selection of different table setting items. We've got, of course, the menorah here. We've got some beautiful gold and blue napkins. These are great because they're reusable. So we really want to try to stay away from using disposable items. Our, gold place settings, some beautiful cufflinks for the men in your life.
Oh, cufflinks too.
Which
yeah,
are
look
great.
At these. That's gorgeous. Okay, so we've got Hanukkah covered. What do we have here? Looks like we're doing a little New Year's.
Gosh, we've got a lot. So if you're here for New Year's entertaining, we have got you covered. We've got tons of different glassware, ice buckets. We've got a beautiful handbag here. We have some great vintage noise makers that would be great for New Year's.
Okay, this reminds me totally of something my mom would have. And how cute is that for today, too? Okay, and next we're moving on to what? A few cocktails?
Yes, we've got cocktails. We've got some great goblets. And even I want to mention some great handmade vintage ornaments from back in the day. And for the sports lovers, we have vendors who bring in sports memorabilia, which is great for our Chicago teams.
Oh, I love that. Okay. And then finally, we've got Christmas that we're looking at.
Christmas. So some of these people, collect. They're from like the 50s and 60s. They're beautiful Santas or different elves. These little elves down here are from Poland, which are beautiful and in great condition. We also have, a plate setting down there and just different ways that you can use old china.
Well, you have done a great job of bringing in some, but there's so much more, right? Clothing items as well. What else can people expect?
We've got clothing. We've got furniture for every room of your house.
Too.
Absolutely. Tons of mid-century modern furniture, Art Deco. Hollywood Regency is really big. And we have some great jewelry, costume jewelry, sterling silver and gold in store too.
And I love that you guys also host monthly events if people want to come out and take part, right? So what's the website they should go to?
Go to LincolnAntiqueMallChicago.com to learn all about our events and things going on. And then also follow us on social media because it's a blast.
Okay, what's the social media? Same?
Is the new Lincoln Antique Mall, both on Facebook and Insta.
Well, this is just scratching the surface. If there's more where this came from, I'm sure it's really special. Thank you for coming in. Happy holidays. And thanks for joining us. We'll be right back.
Nothing.
Okay, it's not Prancer, Vixen, Comet, or Cupid, but maybe this deer was hoping to join Santa's sleigh team. Police say the deer broke into a Christmas store in Tennessee and then got wedged into a chair. Kind of hard to see there. The department said the animal was eager to join in on the holiday fun, inspecting the decorations and then galloping around the store. Caitlin, is he pulling the deer's legs?
Yes, I'm worried about his poor little back legs. Oh, there he goes. There he goes.
The deer was safely brought out of the shop before managing to finally run off. Okay, that's hilarious. That's some funny video we're just looking at.
I love it. I wonder what town in Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm glad that the deer is safe. There have been a lot of deer break-in stories lately on the news. I wonder why, because I guess it's that time of year, huh?
Oof, I guess so. Can you imagine walking into that store if you owned it? Like, what does that sound? Oh,
exactly.
It's a deer.
And I would scream and run out to find somebody.
And I'd be like, give me a little baby, I'll give you a carrot.
Yeah, you love your animals.
I know, that'd be so fun. All right, let's talk about this weather, shall we? A lot of changes are happening today. We have colder air moving on in, gusty winds, some lingering snow, especially in northwest Indiana, some lake effect snow showers still coming down. And I do expect it over the next few hours before things do dry out. From Chicago points west and north, though, already dry skies have returned. Temperatures continue to drop, which isn't what we usually like to see on our day planner, going down instead of up. But 27 degrees expected by 5. Cloudy skies sticking with us, and we have more snow in the forecast on our 7-day outlook. So let me show you what's happening. First of all, through the rest of the day today, we're going to have those gusty winds. It's going to feel chilly. We have winds around 30 to 40 miles per hour possible at times. Tomorrow, quiet during the day. 26 is our high. But then as we get to tomorrow evening, the chance for snow is back, and Friday morning is expected to be impacted by snowfall, a couple inches possible, a high of about 30. And then we work our way into the weekend, and it's going to be brutally cold. Temperatures dropping down to 7 Saturday morning, a high of only 12. Then we have the chance for snow returning Saturday and Saturday night. Sunday, sunny and 11 after a morning low of 0. And next week, finally getting back to the mid and upper 30s by Tuesday, but we start off Monday with 25.
All right, thanks for that, Caitlin. And that's going to do it for us here at Fox 32 News at noon. Hope to see you back here at 4. Until then.
Next 32, and I'll be with you through 4 p.m. So let's just tee up this first hour. There is a lot to get to. A planetary scientist at NASA is going to be joining me for quite the discussion here. It's a new hypothetical possibility, a cosmic explanation, if you will, for the Bible's Star of Bethlehem.